and see if we can make a bit of progress in this one. Right. So I'm pretty sure I'm confident now about the collars on these things. Drilling them out is definitely the way to go if you're struggling. I mean, they might vary from kit to kit, so it's worth remembering if you do have a problem that you can just drill them out. But it definitely seems to have done the trick. Definitely made it a lot easier to do it, that's for sure. That's fiddly. When you're doing this, pay attention to which one front and rear are different, and obviously the length of hoses are different as well, so make sure you put the relevant cylinders in the right front or rear piece. Another thing I forgot to mention in the last one, when we built up the hydraulic unit, the oil tank, because they're all shot blasted and that, there is a chance that some of the media could be stuck in the oil tank, so always best to give it a good flush out. I just use warm soapy water and then leave it for 24 hours to fully dry out, and then you know that you've got no little bits in the tank. Just give it a real good flush, because again, little tiny particle in it is just going to really mess things up. So if you just make sure everything is completely clean, you won't have any problems with blocked hoses or anything. Again, when you're using like thread lock, real small amount should be needed on these screws. But another thing to note is when you're using the thread lock, always put it on the thread of what you're doing. So don't ever put it in the hole, because if you put it in the hole, as you're pushing, obviously threading the screw in, if it's in the hole, it's just going to push down deeper into the hole and squish out on whatever you're doing. So if it's going on like a hinge pin like these, obviously binding that up with thread lock in there is not going to do it any favours whatsoever. So always put it on the thread of whatever you're doing up, and then obviously as you're doing it up, all the thread lock is just going to go up the thread and then out the top. You're not going to get any down in the hole where you don't want it. So that's a handy thing to remember. On these little hinge pins, there's a flat. Obviously make sure you line up the flat with the grub screw. That way you know that it's going to give it the best chance possible for gripping it well. Like so, and centralise the pin. Do them up. Yeah, everything fits really nice on this stuff. It's never too sloppy or too tight. They always allow for paint, which is obviously really good. Everything is just right, which is nice to see that they allow for it. There's nothing worse than painting something and then it's too tight to do anything with it. I do love how Lesu have changed over to scale bolts on everything, so everything that's visible on these machines, even the parts that aren't visible, have all got little scale hardware, which just really makes a difference, I think. Nice and central. Your feet for the outriggers. Stops to go in. Yeah, it's always best before you start this sort of thing is to just go through the whole manual and just study it well, just familiarise yourself with absolutely everything, because the more you know it, obviously the less problems you'll come across as you're building. Obviously if there's something that you're not sure of, obviously you can find out before you get there, so you know exactly what you're doing all the way through. Yeah, obviously my Facebook page, Lesu Excavator, Wheel Loader and Heavy Equipment, is ideal if you've got any questions about any Lesu models, not necessarily trucks because there's hundreds and thousands of truck pages, but it's more just for the Lesu heavy equipment. So it's yeah, if you've got any questions about anything, then come and ask away. There's plenty of people on there that are extremely handy, and I've got plenty of model building experience. Right, so that's that done. Right, next we need the toe pin. I'll give you screws with it, but I don't tell you to use them, I tell you to use the yep, N2x6, which they're N2x4, so they're no good. The scale box. Organised all my bolts in here, so everything that's not hex head, so these are just normal Allen key cap head bolts or button head bolts. In here you've got like hinges, washers and grub screws. In here is just nuts, and then in here is all the other bits like collars, magnets and stuff, and then this one's all the little scale bolts. So it shouldn't be too hard to find stuff. That's the plan anyway. Four of them. Don't think this is handed up or down. Don't see any difference, it looks pretty symmetrical. Just go on. Anyway up. Some of these threads are obviously going to have paint in, so if it does feel tight, don't just screw it on in because you're just going to snap something. If you haven't got taps, then it's probably best to get some, or failing that, use a hardened screw to go in first, and then put the correct hex head bolt in. That way you're a lot less likely to snap the heads off of these things. Smudgy tight. But yeah, M2 tap, M1.6, and I think that's about all you need. It's mainly the two that are going to cause you any problems. M3 obviously is plenty big enough, you don't need to worry about that. You can just, any paint that will be on them shouldn't really affect it. It's a bit tight for my liking. So I should get the ones that they gave me. Put that in first. Again, just do it like you tap a hole, so half a turn in, half a turn out until you're all the way through. That's nice now. He says. That's a dodgy screw. You do get spare screws with these, which is good. There's quite obviously there's quite a few left over at the end of each build, which is handy. That's the one. in with these, all of these little bolts, they don't need to be done really tight, they're just nipped and that's it. Because the heads will snap off them if you go too hard on it. Like this little pin thing that they give you to go in the hitch, I'm going to leave that out and leave it in the toolbox, otherwise in the screw box, otherwise it's just going to get lost. At least in there I know exactly where it is. Right, it says obviously to repeat the same process for the front, which I've already done. That one went together just as nice as the rear. So that's them done. Stick them to one side for now. Alright, now we're starting on the steering linkages. Not sure where they are. Probably that. And the ends. Maybe that's them. So. Sure if that is the one or not. Some 35 mil. That's only 25 mil, so that's not the one. Is it in here or is it in that little box? No. Guess I'm missing a bag. May well be. So I remember seeing. I seem to have misplaced that. So, what can we do about that? I think that is M2.5. That's the one that's telling you to use. Other one is needed for anywhere else. I can't see anyone else that needs that other one, so that might be the one I need to use. I might have just put the wrong one in the kit. There's nothing else anywhere about that one. So I'll go back to that. I hope that is long enough. If not, we shall order some M2.5 threaded rod and make another one. Right, so that needs some M2.5 nuts as well. Here somewhere. And 2.5. Right, so they are saying that needs to be a total length of 63.3 mil. Which might be possible. Must be 60 mil. Don't think we're going to get 63 mil out of that. Yeah, 60 mil is the most. So we shall come back to that, I think. I may just be not seeing it somewhere, so hopefully I'll find the correct one. If not, like I say, I'll just have to make another one up from threaded bar. Right, so moving on next. With so many parts in a kit, then it is understandable that some things do get put in incorrectly or wrongly. This is the servo they gave you in the kit. This is a 35 kilo servo, so should be more than capable for the job. incredibly reliable. Not heard of SPT before, but it certainly looks quite well made. Piece that needs to be which way round? Goes to the back. Then there's M3x6 button heads. Probably the last ones I pull out. And here. And 3x6. So I need 4 of them. Again, use a very small amount of thread lock on these because we need masses of that. Done up. Alright, now the other link one. The steering rod now. That definitely looks like the right one, which is handy. I'm saying that wants to be 128.3 total length. Not entirely sure how much the 0.3 is going to make a difference, but we shall see. Come on. A bit of bar thread on that because that's tight to go on. Not overly tight, but it is tight. Okay. Right. Not going to put any thread lock on these either. Just in case they need adjusting, obviously you can lock them off with the nuts anyway, so. What do we need? 128.3. like I'm going to get 128.3 on that either. Or yep. What's going on here then? Saying that needs to be there. Right, let's ignore the instructions for a minute. Grab the axle and see how it lines up. Oh, that's definitely looking too short. Is that saying that should be 103mm long from end to end? That barely looks 90. 84. So this one is also incorrect. So again, I shall get a piece of threaded rod and make a new one, which is a pain because I don't have any, so I'll have to order some. So I think we'll probably leave this one here until I manage to get some more rod. So a little setback, which is a bit annoying, but still, these things happen. Nothing that isn't overcome fairly simply. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.